Okay, this is the recording and the answers for activity or law 1.1. And basically there are 5 questions based on a very brief reading and notes that you had in your presentation. And you're supposed to just basically be able to answer these. You don't have to hand them in, just check your work as you go. So the first one was, as societies and communities developed, why were behavioral norms needed and upon what were they based? So basically, this is the part of the text that I was hoping you would read. So as communities developed, behavioral norms were needed to be able to predict behavior and guide relationships. So more people, the more need for being able to have predictable behavior. So they were based on local customs, spiritual beliefs, and they were enforced through individuals or groups. So basically, powerful individuals would be able to enforce those, powerful groups, but all of those customary norms based on behavioral norms. So then what did those customary norms develop into? So as they went along and developed, they became laws. Explain what effect the increasing complexity of society had on behavioral norms or laws. Okay, so behavioral norms became laws, but then as society became more complex, and basically as there became more and more people, then there was a problem with the application and interpretation of laws. And especially in an age not so long ago where communication would have been much, much slower, the whole idea of being able to consistently apply a law was an issue. So it says here, decisions about laws made in one particular community would often contradict decisions in another community. So think about that in a community or even a school setting where the decisions or the laws are interpreted slightly different in what sort of impact that could have. And that's basically as society became more complex. So then one of the improvements on that was this whole idea of the English common law, and it says what is meant by precedent and why is precedent an important concept in English common law. So in English common law, they basically started recording cases and decisions made in cases, and then they examined precedent, meaning what happened in a case that might be similar. So if it was a theft issue that they were dealing with, they would look at how decisions were made in a previous case that would be very similar, and then they would apply that type of consequence to that. So just think about like a suspension in hockey. What they'll do is they'll look at cases where suspensions have been handed out before, and then they will see if it's a similar case and then apply a decision that's very similar to the one before. So that was precedent, or that is the concept of precedent. And what did English common law help to improve upon? So because they were recording the decisions and because they were applying or making decisions based on precedent, it helped improve upon the consistency of application of law, which was a problem, if you recall, in question number 3. And that's basically activity 1.1.